Greetings everyone, BJ Weiler back with you for another exciting adventure in Euro Truck Simulator 2 for simulating reality. Let's see where we are at here. We are still in Liège after taking our heavy haul from our last episode. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Trying to decide what I want to do here. Or heavy haul special delivery, our special transport. I've done a few others as quick jobs, just to work on some in the meantime since our last episode, just to work on some of the Steam achievements. But I definitely want to get some more video of that, driving them in our own truck. But unfortunately, I have to unlock all these other cities, and there's one in France. There's only one in France, and I think it is Nantes. I have no idea. My French is very rusty, but it's down here, so there's a lot in Germany. But what we have to decide here is where we're going to expand. Now, there is going to be a map expansion we have just learned in the last couple of days here, but we're not sure where it's at right now. I mean, the obvious would be, hey, go to Spain and Portugal, finish this off here. Some people have suggested, however, that it could possibly be Ireland and Scotland. But there's a big feeling that it's actually the Baltic region, Estonia, and that area, which I think is up around this area. So that's the big question. We would want to set up a base of operations. We would want to be somewhere near the area of where the next map expansion is going to be. That way we can pop right into that map expansion and start playing that, as we sort of did here with Italy. Of course, we still have a lot of Italy to explore. But that means I would want to go this way. But I'm kind of wanting to go to France. And set up a base of operations. Well, I also want to do England too. So that's the question. There are some heavy hauls in England. So this is the big question here. Do we go England for our next base of operations, or do we stay on the European continent here? I'm kind of feeling France. I've wanted to pop into France, since France was the expansion prior to Italy here. And of course, there is some French heritage in our family, but I'm kind of thinking that, because I figure by the time, because we're still waiting for Oregon. Oregon's going to launch in American Truck Simulator before this next map expansion. We just had Italy, so I imagine it's going to be at least a couple of months. We probably won't see the new map expansion here at least until, I would say, the end of the summer, I would imagine. Something that gives us plenty of time to get over here. By then, we can have most of France taken care of. We can even be in England, which is sort of what I kind of want to do. Go France and go up into England. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So you know what? We're going to head to Paris. So let's check the freight market. I don't think I took a quick look at the job market. I didn't really see anything here that took us to Paris. It does take us to France, but I do want to get into Paris because there are a couple of discoverables there. There are a dealership. There's a recruitment center. We're not going to do a garage in Paris, although there is one, because that's kind of close to Luxembourg. Here we're kind of spraying ourselves out a lot more than we are in American Truck Simulator, simply because there's a lot more map as well. So we've got the garage in Rome for Italy. So I'm thinking Limoges, which is down here somewhere. There it is, Limoges. So more or less towards the center of France, and it gives us a good jumping off point if and when we get Spain and Portugal as map expansions. So Limoges is our ultimate destination here. So I don't think there is anything that takes us either to Paris or Limoges from the World of Trucks contracts here. Let me take a look. However, Dresden. Now, there's one in Dresden which has a special transport, which is tempting, but we'll be doing more special transport after we get established in France. I'm definitely going to be doing that because I want to get the route Steam achievement done before there's an expansion, and there's more for me to do to get the achievement complete. Yeah, I'm not seeing Limoges or Paris, so it looks like, let me refresh this just one time here. So it looks like, see, there's Lille, and Le Mans. Now Le Mans takes us past Paris, gets us a little bit closer to Limoges, but we've technically discovered Paris, but haven't really been in Paris. We drove by Paris and got to discovery that way. I'd rather just go to Paris and start off there, sort of as our jumping point to Limoges. Yep. All right. So let's check the freight market here. See what we got here. Coming out to Liège. All right. Here's one right here, right off the bat. The highest paying job to France. Well, the highest paying job out of Limoges is pressure tanks. 365 kilometers, 5 hours. Now we've done pressure tanks a lot. We've taken a lot of pressure tanks in our travels here. See, anything to Limoges or anything else to Paris? Now here. Okay, so almost the worst paying job in the market here per distance, but it's a combination heavy haul here, and it does take us to Paris, which is tempting. And it's only what? That's 44 euro per mile. This is 25. So real big difference. But in terms of actual payout, we're only 5,000 euro difference. And we've done pressure tank a lot of times, and that would be the obvious choice. Just price per distance. But that really takes us out of. Let's see. That takes us to Tredoux. Where does this one take us? To Baptiste. Let's take a look here at what we unlock. Where this place is. Okay, so there's Baptiste, and that's right next to a discoverable. Oh, look, Tredoux, right next to a discoverable. Okay, so there's a dealership there. So this is probably a recruitment center. Now, if I go to Baptiste, I can actually reroute myself. No, this would probably take me right up this way. So if I go to, see, where would it have me going? So it more likely I'd be coming in from the north. So I'd be coming in this way for either job, coming in that way. So actually, if I do take the job to Baptiste, I can route myself through past the dealership and get that unlocked as we head to Baptiste. Not that it matters, because either way, I could just freewheel it there. God, if that job only paid more. But I really kind of want to go down here. I really want to do the heavy haul. So that's what we'll do. We'll just go ahead and do the heavy haul. So let's go ahead, freight market, and a Liège. I just want to do the heavy haul. A truck set for heavy haul. So that's what we're going to do. Let's set that as GPS destination. Boom. Yep, we're good. We know we can do heavy hauls. We did special transport with no problem. So a 51-ton concrete beams is not going to be an issue. So let's fire her up here. It's 10:08 p.m. So let's see here. Where is our route here? Oh, good. And we're pretty close. Well, they were both coming out of ITCC anyway, so either way, it didn't make a difference. All right, so let's go ahead and go nab that job here. So this is going to be an overnight haul into Paris. So let's rock and roll here. Nobody? Nobody? All right, we're good. Ooh, almost good. Let's not screw ourselves up here. There we go. Okay, so we're going this way. Let's get that squared away. Thank you. So yeah, so quite a lot already that we can anticipate for 2018 for both Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator. A new state and a new region. So fun times here. It's kind of hoping for Spain and Portugal. To me, that would kind of make sense to round out at least the Western Europe there. And like I said, there is, we have Spain and Portugal already in the original Euro Truck Simulator. But hey, it is what it is. Either way, anyway, whichever way you slice it, no matter where the new region is going to be, it's going to be fun and exciting to have something new to explore. Even though I've barely scratched the surface of this game myself, so. Like I said, and as we've seen, I haven't even finished Italy yet, let alone anything else, let alone something new already. But ooh, come on, dude! By the time this new area rolls out, I think we'll have a good chunk of the map explored, and we'll have our RMG Gaming European expansion company, our European RMG Gaming trucking company, pretty well established here. So that's the key right now. Oh, I gotta get over here. Come on, dude. I am itching to expand here. I mean, practically speaking, it's only been less than a week since we picked up the Rome garage and hired those two drivers. But I'd like to get at least one more garage, because I do want to pick up a garage for myself in Metz, which is pretty close to Luxembourg, and use that as sort of a truck storehouse, playhouse, fully upgraded to a 5 truck garage, and just and just fill it up with trucks that I will be driving out of Metz myself, and sort of do a combo Luxembourg Metz, run those garages solely myself, and just have a lot of trucks just to play around with. Now for the other garages, I don't know if I want to expand. So I mean, the easy thing to do would be to expand and hire all sorts of drivers and stuff like that, and then just let the AI earn all our money, which we sort of want to work towards. That way we can do exploration and just sightsee more and just do fun jobs without having to worry about how much they pay, anything like that. But I don't want to, make it to where the game essentially plays itself and we no longer become necessary. So Metz might be the only garage I upgrade fully. I might leave all the other garages as small 3-truck garages and only have 2 drivers in each garage. That way I can, whenever I feel like it, go to that particular garage and work out of that garage myself. I mean, to me that would be fun. So there's our haul there. Probably should throw in some beacons on my truck here, especially if we're doing transports now. Beacons and the banner. But we'll see. We'll think about that. All right, so let's get a move on here. We've got almost 6 hours of travel time to go here, so we might end up speeding up this video here. As a matter of fact, let me stop here real quick and get my OBS up so I can just see how much time. Yeah, because we're already 16 minutes into it, so you know, an hour max per video is kind of what I want to stick to. I like keeping videos nice, short, half-hour affairs. Unless there's something really special going on, then then we'll do the 45 minutes to an hour. All right, we're good. Let's go. I got to focus on what I'm doing here. Let's rock and roll here. So if this video ends up being over an hour, I'll probably just end up speeding up portions of it, listening to some tunes. Yeah, so like I said, yeah, I kind of, even though my suspicions are, because there's seems to be a lot of people thinking the Baltic region, Estonia, around that area, for this new map expansion. I'm still kind of have that hankering to go to France and do the Vive la France expansion, since we started playing the game after it was already out. So for us, stop. It's already been part of, it came with the game, so to speak. But I kind of want to get to France. I've been to France before, long ago. Paris, actually, for school trips. I think I've mentioned this before. For school trips, there was one latter, school trip that took us through Belgium and Sweden. So I've actually been to France twice on those 2 different school trips. But I have the hankering to go to France there for that reason. But again, like I said, there is ancestry for my French-Canadian family here. Or at least our French-Canadian side. The other part of my family is from Poland, so again, it could also make sense for us to go to Poland as well. Never been to Poland, so all right, I'm gonna have to switch lanes here. But yeah, so there is, from our Canadian roots, ties to France. The family name of Langevin is in our ancestry, and interestingly enough, hold on there. I was looking through some books. I think one of them might have been about Joan of Arc. I got many years ago from the Folio Society. They're all history books and stuff like that. So I do have an affinity, a interest in history. All things historical, world history, as well as my American history as well, and just glancing through one of these books about Joan of Arc, I think it was, and seeing some of the relationships that she had with the Dauphin of France at the time. And there were some family names mentioned in that. I gotta watch my speed here. There's some family names mentioned in that, and one of them was Langevin. And if memory serves, the Langevins were in some way related to the Dauphin of France. So I found that interesting, that we can trace our family name back to the Langevin clan. And so it would be interesting to see if we could trace our roots back to there. Now, I had a cousin who was doing some family tree stuff before she died many years ago. My sister was doing the same thing on Ancestry a couple years ago. But not really the French side of the family, more of the English American side of our family, tracing our roots back to England on that part of the family. So we don't really know much about our French ancestry, I think, at this point. We've traced back to great-grandparents, I think. But we've gone a lot further back on the English side of the family. But in the United States here, looks like we're going to have some rain. There was a television program that ran a couple years ago. I haven't seen where it's currently running right now. But it's called Who Do You Think You Are? And the concept of the program was that it would take an American celebrity, actor, somebody famous in America, most of them actors. Oh, we got some income here. Ooh, slow down. I gotta switch over here. Yeah, I really gotta get over here. Sorry, dude. I gotta get over. Oh boy. It's gonna be a very interesting trip if this keeps up. But yeah, most of the episodes we saw all involved American actors, and what the concept of the show was about was tracing the ancestry and the roots of these actors back to some very interesting ancestors and forefathers of these actors. Oh man, yeah, we didn't have any momentum coming up this hill, but that's all right. It's not like we're in our Mercedes, or trusty old Mercedes-Benz we started out with. This Volvo here has the power. But I found that show very, very interesting in how, it traced the roots back from these famous people to sometimes famous people as well in history. But also because, these American celebrities really didn't know a lot about their family history, and it was interesting to see how they learned about it too, as they went through the journeys and traveled sort of back in time and visited the places where their ancestors had lived or worked or fought, in many cases in wars. It was a very interesting concept. So it'd be interesting I always thought it would be interesting to have sort of the same concept show but in reverse, because many of these celebrities came, like I said, they could be traced back to famous people, but many of them as well came from very humble roots, very poor roots as well. So it always interests me to see that if there would ever, if the producers of the show and all that, and that's how they picked the celebrities, was they did some initial historical tracebacks and say, oh, okay, we can go with this celebrity because here's a very interesting story to trace back. So I think they sort of picked the celebrities based on how interesting for the TV show the ancestry would take them back. I always thought it'd be an interesting concept to sort of do it in reverse. Take just some random person off the street and trace their history back to potentially somebody famous, and see if there are any connections in the past to an American celebrity. Because in several instances, these celebrities were able to trace family history back, and they had long lost quote unquote relatives that were living, and some of them went to go visit their relatives, say, hey, we're related, we're like third cousins 5 times removed. But very interesting how, they just, some common random person in America is related to this celebrity. So it always interests me to see, trace back the roots of just some random person saying, hey, you are actually related to the royal family of England in some way or another. I always thought that would make for an interesting concept for a show too. But yeah, so we do have that's at least connection in name, at least in history, to perhaps Joan of Arc and the Dauphin of France. So perhaps one day it would be very, very interesting to see if we could trace our roots, to see if our roots really do indeed go back that far, and how our ancestors were involved with the people of that time. But alas, we've not yet done it. It'd be interesting to see, though. Very interesting to see. Well, we got a toll. Yeah, looks like we got a toll plaza coming up here. All right, which way are we going? I think I can go straight, right? Let's take her easy here. This storm is really coming down here. Alright, we're on our way here, and I probably want to take a look at the map anyway so I can reroute myself. So we're about 3 hours in, so this is a good place to do a save, which I have not yet done yet, because we're almost halfway through our trip here. So let's get down the road here a bit. We'll save the game. So we do have some unexplored road we're traveling over now, which is nice as well. Yeah, this is a nasty thunderstorm. Trying to think. Oh yes, there was I think it was the first trip to France that we did, which essentially was just France. We visited Paris, Versailles, Mont Saint Michel, and the other Mont Saint, I think whatever it was, the name escapes me now. So mostly France. But during that trip, we encountered, I forget where we're going. We might have been on the way to Versailles. We encountered a rainstorm. It wasn't nasty, but it was, pretty good rainstorm. That looks like I'm turning off here. So I think this is a good place to save. So let me slow down and make sure I'm lined up. Oh, there we go. But it started to hail. Now, we were taking the tour bus. It was, again, this class trip. Let me do this, because BJ Waller 3 is my special transport save. So we'll go ahead and save this here. It started to hail. So I found that very interesting. That was very unusual. Now, this was, I believe this was in the spring. This would have been March or April, I think we were over there. So I was looking out at the clouds, just saying, because it just seemed to be unusual. It didn't seem like it would be a day where, oh, all of a sudden it's going to hail. It wasn't like the middle of winter or anything like that. So, of course, me being, of course, interested in meteorology and that type of stuff, I started looking at it and said, hail is sometimes indicative of a tornado. Thinking to myself, yeah, okay, that's just interesting that it's hailing. Indicative of a tornado. Never really expected to see a tornado, but I'm looking out at the sky, out the bus windows as we're going down the road, and I see what potentially could be a small funnel cloud starting to come out of the bottom of the rainstorm. So that gives us 2.5 hour journey there, 2:47. So that, according to this, it actually trims down our distance a bit here. If we go this way. So if I go that way, now that's, yeah, 2.5 hours, and that'll still unlock that. So you go down that way, there we go. Yeah, so I think that makes sense to me, so we'll do that. That works. So just to myself, said, well, it's hailing. That would be something. That is a tornado. Again, you know, being France is like, France doesn't have tornadoes. It's, you know, that's crazy. But lo and behold, the next day, pick up the daily paper from wherever we were, and right on the front page, La Tempeste was a tornado, all right, that went through France. So I was even tempted to say on the bus, out loud, telling my people, "Hey, look, that looks like a tornado up there. You know, it's hailing. That could be a tornado." I said, "Nah, it's impossible. No, there's no way. Everybody would think I'm crazy. Couldn't be a tornado." But yep, sure enough, it was a tornado. So it's very interesting, and because it sure should. Now sometimes you get the clouds that look like could possibly be a tornado, but it really isn't. But this one, you look at it, said, I could have been convinced if I had believed in myself, I would most definitely have said, yeah, that is absolutely a tornado getting ready to drop. But I just said, nah, it couldn't be. Just the way the downdraft of the cloud is. Well, that's sort of what a tornado is anyway, isn't it? But yeah, so an interesting trip to France there, and like I said, the second trip I think was a year or two after that. You know, again, we visited Versailles, Paris. It was mostly France. Then we went through Belgium, got some Belgian chocolate. Very, very nice Belgian chocolate there I got to bring back with me. In fact, on one of those trips, I picked up a very nice porcelain French doll that I bought for my sister at the time. So this was the mid '80s. I did this because my sister was born in '83, and she was small at the time. I've got to figure out where that doll is, because we never gave it to her, because of course at the time she was far too young. This was a very, very special, very not sort of the doll, the rough and tumble you play with every day type of doll like a Barbie doll, but a very, very nice doll that, it's not necessarily a collector's item, but something you would just, hold and enjoy, sort of a non-completely play. Ooh boy, this is going to be tight here. I probably should have just gone through the pay stop here. I might have to back out of this. Alright, we got the toll paid, but can I get through the toll booth without damaging my cargo here? Alright, here we go. I think we made it. I think we made it. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Toll is paid, so it looks like it's going to rain all the way to our trip to Paris here. Turn in here. Alright, good. I've got a merging lane, so I don't have to stop. Alright, there we go. Nobody's coming. Good. 3 o'clock in the morning. Roads are rather dead, which I kind of like here. Another couple of hours, and we will be in our destination. So we should. This should be the main. This should be the road that takes us past the dealership now. Paris at night, so perhaps we will be able to see the Eiffel Tower all lit up. That would be something. See the Eiffel Tower. We are definitely good on gas, don't have to sleep. So we're all good. We can head right to the job. right to the job site, and then maybe with any luck we can take a job out of Paris to Limoges. Not that I would buy not that I'm going to buy the garage right away, because I would certainly transfer to the garage and start driving out of it, but I would certainly want it before I left. I would certainly, before the end of the week, I guess I should say, I would want at least to have another driver in that garage. Boris, very good, thank you, Boris. I should check on the status of my guys too, see if I have to change anything on them. So that means I would have to buy a garage, hire a driver, and of course buy a truck for that driver, which of course I would test out for a bit too. So all told, the garage is going to be 180,000 euro. Truck, even if I just do a simple day cab truck, nothing fancy, just something down and dirty that'll get the job done, probably looking at about another 120,000 euro for that. So we're looking at about 300,000 euro just for a truck in the garage. So that knocks us down to 142,000 euro at this point. And I don't want to drop back down that low because we've worked hard to get ourselves up to almost €500,000 here. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is just taking as many jobs as I can out and about around here in France and see if we can't work ourselves up to a point to where even after buying the garage and the truck and hiring the driver, we'll still have about €500,000. So I've got to earn probably about 200,000 euro here for jobs in France. Now, if I do the high value jobs, if I take the best paying jobs, right now most of the jobs I see are paying about 15,000 euro. So we're talking about a good 10 to 15 jobs before we're ready to buy that garage here. End of the road here. I want to take a look to see where we're at here anyway on the map. 4:15. So we got less than an hour to go here. It's starting to get daylight out despite the rain. Let me see where we're at here. Okay. That'll give me an opportunity. Okay, so we're heading down now. All right, we're heading into Paris now. We're going to cross the A1. We got a little rest stop there. We got a little something there. We don't know what it is. Probably a bus stop or something. I'm not going to do too much exploration there. We'll wait to do that till after we drop this job off. So we still, even with all this traveling, it's still only going to be about an hour. Of course, we're going to be going a lot slower down this road, I think. But anyway, let me let's go ahead and save where we're at too while I'm at it. Okay, do another save here. And let me take a quick look at our driver manager here. Actually, you know what? Let's do garage manager. Let's see how they're doing. See if we still got... Ooh, goodness. The driver's pay must have come out. We were doing good in American Truck Simulator. We were almost at 100%, and all of a sudden driver's pay came out, and we're like back to half again. So driver's pay is the killer. But good. We're still just over 100%. We still got the weekend to get through. So hopefully they can earn enough and we won't drop below 100. I'd like to have 100% productivity, but we'll have to see. In the meantime, let's take a look at our drivers here. Let's see how Martina's doing. She is taking carbon black powder, so she is taking the hazardous, which is good. From Napoli to Rome. Oh, she's almost done, so she should have this job complete any minute here. We finally got her to level. She did level up, so we got her the 3 pips in high value, which is good. So now we're getting her long distance. So what has the log been? Did some olives, flowers, a driller. She hasn't really been... Her longest jobs are actually her first job. She hasn't really done anything that long after the first 3 jobs here. But she's making money. At least she's finding jobs. So she hasn't gotten to the point where she hasn't been able to find a job yet. So hopefully she'll be able to find something back from Napoli again, which is nice. Okay, how's Boris here? So Boris, again, 3 pips. We have him in long distance. He's got 2 pips in long distance now, too. I think he leveled up for that. So he's got a lot unlocked, except the ADR stuff. Martina doesn't have the just-in-time. So I think that what we're going to do is we're going to not do just-in-time for her. We're going to do more, maybe more ADR. Although, if we do 1 pip in just-in-time, that'll unlock more jobs. So maybe I should do a pip of each. Once she levels up to 2, and he levels up to 3, do him a pip here. And once she levels up to 2, do her a pip there. That way it maximizes our jobs that will be available to them. Check Boris here real quick so we can get back on the road. Empty pallets, so think a bit more. So he's done. Here we go. So yeah, he's actually starting to do longer jobs now, which is good. All right, so good. Yeah, just the just his first job he couldn't find. He was in Pescara. Or okay, so no, wait a minute. Okay, so it only has the last 10 jobs or so. Okay. Let's say his first job he had to go, but he started in Rome, so that makes sense. So yeah. So he wasn't able to find a job there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get back on the road here so we can finish this episode. Get ourselves into Paris. Unlock the dealership and the recruitment center. So we have more recruits to choose from when we do get this garage in Limoges. So that's going to be the thing, because there are Steam achievements, at least for Euro Truck Simulator 2, about garage productivity. I think it's for 5 garages, if I recall correctly. Having 100% productivity or something to that effect. So that's going to be kind of tough. If I don't have... I don't want to hit this guy. Shoot, speeding violation. Are you kidding me? Hold on. Are you kidding me? I didn't even see that. Let's go ahead and reload here. Loss of money is not what we want right now. So that's going to be kind of tough if we don't have all garage slots filled with a employee who's bringing in some income to our company. But I'm going to have to see. What I will have to test is if I can just one thing I do plan to do, of course, if I'm leaving this empty slot, is actually have a truck for that empty slot in each garage. So like in Rome, we have that empty slot there. We only have 2 drivers and 2 trucks. I'm going to buy a 3rd truck and just have it parked in Rome. And that would be my truck when I go to Rome and work out of the Rome garage. So the interesting thing I want to see is that if I have a truck already there and I don't need to bring my current truck with me, if I can just transfer myself to Rome and it sort of does it, or any other garage. Again, oh, I better slow down here. Better slow down. See if any time passes, because as I know, if say I'm in my Luxembourg garage and say, oh, let me transfer myself to Rome, well, time advances, because of course it factors in the time for you to drive down to Rome to work out of that garage. But if, let's say, I am in if I already have a truck there, will it instantaneously transfer me without any advancement in time, which is kind of what I'm hoping. That way I can just pick a garage that may be struggling and say, even if it's on the completely other side of the map, say, all right, let me transfer there real quick and work out of that garage. But I don't necessarily want to lose, 12, 18 hours of travel time just to get to that garage without, bringing in any income in the meantime. So So I'm going to have to do a little test to see. Which means, of course, I'm going to have to buy a truck for Rome, throw it in the Rome garage, and then transfer myself to Rome and see what happens. In the meantime, we are almost at our destination here. We're only 16 kilometers away. Oh, you know, we're 16 kilometers away from the first checkpoint. I think that's what that is. So to say, that doesn't seem like it would be long enough, unless this is taking me to the actual job site first and not routing me the way I want to go here, which I don't think it should be doing. What's our speed here? Okay. Make sure I'm not speeding at all. Because what I'd really like to do, of course, is earn enough income to where I can take some time off, as I did in American Truck Simulator, and just take a tour and take a sort of vacation, so to speak, where I can just drive around and sightsee and tour some of the different places around Europe here. While my drivers bring in income, but again, without making it to where, okay, you know, whether I do any work at all becomes irrelevant. You know, I sort of don't want to get in the trap here of, well, money is no longer an issue in the game. I still want money to matter just even just a little bit here. Oh, I better stop before I get a ticket for this, huh? Stop. All right, let's see where we're at here. You've got to be... Okay, yep. All right, yep. Coming up around this bend here. And we'll be able to discover this. Of course, we'll miss that part of the road, but, you know, we got lots of other parts of Paris here to explore anyway, so... Missing that one stretch of road isn't going to matter, but I do want to, might as well get the dealership unlocked now while it's sort of on the way anyway. So we should be there in about 15 minutes. 20 minutes rather. Just gotta watch my speed here, make sure I get on the correct side of the road. So right through this roundabout here. Alright, good. Nobody else in the roundabout, so we can just go ahead through here. And it is still raining. I mean, it's been raining almost our entire trip here so far. And the whole trip was about 6 hours, so it's been raining for a good 6 hours. Oh, looks like it's finally stopped here. Or at least slowed down. Yeah, it's slowing down, but it hasn't stopped completely. Okay, so we're gonna, okay, so this is gonna take us down around the dealership now here. See what dealership we unlock here. Now I've got at least one or two. I think at this point I've got at least two of every dealership unlocked, of the different manufacturers that are in the game. So we can pick up a model of each truck that is currently available in the game, without mods, of course, not including the mods. I don't really like to use too many mods. That harkens back to, yep, Renault. So we've discovered the Renault dealer. Excellent. Okay, I was about to say, I don't know if that's going to clear the checkpoint or not. So Renault dealer is discovered, at least. Yeah, that goes back to my single player days. I've never back in the good old days before Steam and digital downloading and all that kind of stuff, when you bought your games through a brick and mortar store, I never liked the idea of adding in mods. Of course, back in those times, you know, it's kind of tough. It's like, well, you know, is this mod genuine? You know, I've always been wary of downloading stuff from the internet and that kind of stuff from unfamiliar sources, that kind of thing. So that's part of the reason why I've always hesitated against mods. Because even back in those days, I was very security conscious of my computers. So I always stay away from mods, but even to the point to where I never like to download updates to games. I always like to play my games as they were upon release, bugs and all. Unless oh, shut up! I'm just checking for traffic here. Unless, of course, the game was completely unplayable. This guy's going to go. I knew he was going to go. Unless the game was completely unplayable and needed patches in order to do a complete playthrough of the game, I never liked to download patches. I always just played the initial launch version of games and never really downloaded any patches or anything of that nature for any game back in the good old days. So that's another reason why I've always hesitated against adding mods and stuff like that to any game. Even though, like, obviously there's a ton of content that can be added to the simulator games with all the mods that are out there, but I like playing vanilla. Vanilla's fun enough for me. Of course, now we do have my company logo mod installed, because stuff like that adds a little bit more immersion for me. It's one of those things that I think should be part of the base game. I shouldn't need the mod. I should just be able to upload my logo and use that as my company logo, just like I should be able to paint my truck with my logos as well. Just use my logos on the current paint jobs in the truck, which I hope one day they do. That way I won't even need to use the mods I've got in here. We can just throw in our own company logos right on top of the current paint jobs and stuff. But yeah, I don't like the concept. Although I did subscribe to the Volvo mod in American Truck Simulator and activated it just to see what changes it made in the map, essentially unlocking the Volvo dealers and stuff. But I have not yet played the game to where it keeps it activated. I mean, and again, like I said, the reasons I just explained, that's just been my nature, not to add in anything to the games that wasn't built there initially by the devs at initial launch of a game. But also because every time the games are updated, sometimes it will break these mods, and these mods need to be updated too. And it's just, at that point, it just becomes a big hassle to where sometimes the game crashes. You got to go in there, try to get it up there, unload the mods so the game stops crashing, that kind of stuff. It just gets to that point where it's more headache than it's worth. Of course, now I could pay attention and say, okay, there's a game update coming. Let's disable all mods beforehand. But that may not always be the case, to where I might know ahead of a time or have time before a game gets updated to do that. So for the most part, what we're going to be doing here in our trucking adventures is just good old plain old vanilla again, except for say customized paint jobs that I kind of like. We have the Extra Life Peterbilt paint job that Battery H did in American Truck Simulator. We will be using that at some point. And of course, if I ever, I think I'm going this way, if I ever get to the point to where I am good enough to do my own customized paint job, and hopefully I'm going to be working on that sooner rather than later, to see how bad my paint job is going to be with my company logo. Do that. Otherwise, I just might have to forego putting the logos on my trucks here until hopefully, like I said, one day it's just an integrated feature in the game, sort of like our profile picture is by being connected to World of Trucks. I can, you know, just take a photograph of myself and use that as the profile picture for this particular profile in game, instead of using one of the default profile pictures that look nothing like me for the most part. So hopefully, you know, company logos, you know, personalized company logos and that kind of stuff for both the company manager screen and as paint jobs on trucks will one day be integrated, and you won't need a mod for it anymore. All right, we are almost there. We are almost to our destination here. So good, yeah, about an hour. Not too shabby. So we won't have to speed anything up. You can listen to my lovely commentary for this entire hour. Hopefully I've been entertaining enough for you. Telling you a bit of my family history and other ramblings and rumblings. Now let's see where this drop-off point is going to be, because that might end up being another hour just trying to park this trailer here. Hopefully it's not going to be too squirrely. I do want to try the hardest parking position here, because there is a Steam achievement for getting 1,000, so I'm only about 300 away, I think, from hitting that achievement. So if I can get a 90 XP parking job done here today, that'd be great. But you know, that's all going to depend on how long is it going to take me to park this trailer. And this should unlock, we should be able to drive past this. This should be a recruitment center, because I've never seen a city that had more than one dealership in it. Yep, recruitment agency. So that'll add more available people to hire. I almost want to look at it, but I don't, because I'll inevitably see somebody that I want to hire right on the spot, which I can't do, which would make no sense to do unless I went ahead and bought a truck for them and put them in their own garage, which again I don't want to do. I want to see that this is going to be a bear just getting this thing in here. I might just have to skip parking altogether. Come on. I don't know how tight this the turn I can make here. Alright, it's only going to be 40 anyway. Oh, we got Backett in there. How about this guy? So I think we're going to take, yeah, we'll just take the easy one here. We'll take the 15 XP this time. Okay, so it wasn't as much of a problem getting as I thought, but yeah, backing it up into that spot is going to be I can do it, but it's going to be a little bit more time consuming than I really want to spend on parking right now. Oh, I think I just hit something here. What the heck did I hit? You can't tell me that the trailer's stuck on that. Oh yes, it is. Hence why we're going to do the easy parking job here, because I'm going to end up, I'm going to have to swing out this way here. There we go. I think she finally loosened up here, and then probably back her up, because we are so far off target now. And this thing is just rubbed. Oh, we had it. It took it. So we can just back it up straight here. So it takes it again. Oh, yep, there we go. That is nowhere near. Oh, okay. It's not too bad. It's actually not too bad. I could straighten it out a little bit, but we are at a good time for this video. So lights off, engine off, parking brake on. We'll do the little squirrel maneuver here. I usually don't do the parking brakes or anything like that. And let's go ahead and drop the trailer and see how we did. Excelente. You bet I can park at 715 out of 1,000. Alright, so what did we get here? Base reward, very, very good. Maybe 400 euros, 377 experience, proficiency bonus, Nice, 400 euro for that. Long distance delivery bonus, skill rank 4, nice, 780 and 94 XP for that, and then 15 XP for parking. So a nice 400 XP gets us a little bit further, almost 3/4 of the way to level 22. Took just shy of 7 hours there, it did. And of course, we got ourselves into Paris and unlocked a Renault dealership and another recruitment agency. And I am steadfastly not going to look at the recruits. I am going to wait until we are ready to hire somebody and then go from there, because I don't want to be disappointed again by looking, saying, oh, that's going to be a great person to hire, and then when we go to hire them, they are no longer available. So thanks for watching this episode, everybody. We'll be back again soon for more travels here in France, and perhaps even that special transport, if we can make ourselves make our way down to Nantes, or Nantes, however it's pronounced, Nantes, at the coast, towards the coast there, the border of Portugal as well. If we can make that down before our next video or two, do a special transport for France. In the meantime, thanks for watching, everybody. It's BJ Waller saying, until next time, I will see you in game.